myself like, girl, you got it going on. Do you know how many people will want to be with you? Do you know how much you bring to the table, girl? You brought the table.
I've got 30 minutes if you want to spill your mind. Give me all your reasons to why I should take my time. Used to have forever, but you never cared that much.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So we are having a comfortable chat. I'm gonna try to see if I can get comfortable here, but we're having a comfortable chat on my channel today. I want to start a series basically sharing life lessons that I have learned. I've kind of done this in a lot of different ways on my channel over the years, talking about what I wish I knew when I was in my 20s. I've shared just so many stories and lessons that your girl has been through. Like, I've been pretty transparent for the most part, but today I want to talk about relationships, and I want to really hone in on why we stay in relationships that we know are not healthy for us. I know I've done it. And then my dog, like I always tell you guys, my dog, I have a toxic relationship with my dog, so he ain't going nowhere. But the dog tries to control me too, so we don't want to have any toxic relationships. Kristyn gets a pass. We don't have any other toxic relationships, so we're gonna get into it. Let me grab my wine though. So I have my wine from 2E's Winery. This is the Sucari. I am not exactly sure how you pronounce this, but it is their new cotton candy wine. I think I have my wine opener over there, and then I have my new glasses from, I want to say these are from Crate and Barrel. These are from Crate and Barrel. So I'm gonna go ahead, let me put my glass down. Let's go ahead and crack into this. If you haven't tried this wine and you live in the Fort Wayne area, you are asleep. And if you don't live in the Fort Wayne area, this is a seasonal wine. Like I said, it tastes like cotton candy. You can order it on their website. There is a shipping fee, which does obviously raise the price, but it is really good. It's like now one of my new favorite whites. I can drink one of these bottles so easily. So let's get into it. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this because, as most of you know, I was married and I got divorced. So I am on my second relationship, my second marriage. And I'm someone who, I think most people describe me as a relationship girl. And I think that's for a lot of reasons. I for sure enjoy having someone with me. I definitely longed for a relationship, and I was blessed to find the one that I have right now. I just really feel like, for me, you know, when I am committed, especially getting into a marriage, I had my vows that I was very committed to, and I didn't want to leave. So I want to talk about that today. Let me first pour my wine. Portia told me to be careful with these glasses. She said the stems break so easily. So I'm gonna try to do my best. Hopefully I don't end up breaking my set already that I have. But cheers, and let's get into this conversation. Girl, that is delicious. Okay, so first I want to talk about what is an unhealthy relationship. What is a toxic relationship? One, you feel like you are being controlled, you are unhappy, you're like just miserable, you feel like you are suffocating. Also, if you are with someone and they are not allowing you to grow and to blossom and to do the things that make you feel happy, that is unhealthy. Life is too short to feel like you are trapped in a box. I can definitely relate to that. I think that for me, when I finally got divorced, I felt free. I felt like a butterfly that was let out of the box and able to finally spread my wings and figure out who I wanted to be. Figure out what made Kristyn truly happy, as opposed to always feeling like I wasn't good enough for someone else. Always feeling like I never was gonna make the cut. I wasn't going to be able to reach the standard of what they said was important for me to be as a human being. And it was very freeing. It was fulfilling. Like, I just felt amazing when I got out of that situation. I definitely think that you have to find what is important to you. I had someone last night on live ask me about a relationship that they are in and if they should leave that relationship because they felt like the individual they were with was not cultivating their career and their dreams and their aspirations. And I told them, in my opinion, my humble opinion, if you feel like you are being stunted, or you feel like the things that you are most passionate about, that you think about all the time, that you cannot do because of that relationship, then it may be time to start thinking about something else. But if you feel like that is something you can get from somewhere else, like friends, or maybe your family, or maybe just on your own, then you might be able to find a good compromise for that situation, because at the end of the day, no relationship is perfect. Like, to be going into a relationship thinking you're going to get every single piece of the pie is unrealistic. Like, for me, the bottom line of identifying an unhealthy relationship is you are unhappy. But I do have to admit, this video is not about telling you that you should get divorced or that I am an advocate for divorce, because I do believe very strongly in the covenant of marriage. I do believe that if I had not, you know, if the divorce that I had was not brought to me, I would not have pursued it, mainly because I didn't want to feel guilty or feel like I was breaking a covenant that I had entered into. So for me, that was one of the reasons, which we're gonna talk a little bit about the reasons I think people don't leave, but that was one of the reasons for me why I stayed. And I just wanted to mention that because I don't want you guys thinking this is a video bashing marriage or telling you that you should go and get divorced. That's not what this is. But I do feel super strongly that life is too short to be unhappy. And we're gonna sip on that real quick. Y'all, this is so good. I think another way to identify if your relationship is unhealthy is if there are just some simple red flags. Physical abuse, mental abuse, not allowing you to have friends. Again, just coming back to, like, for me, the gut check is you are unhappy, just period unhappy. I do think that going to counseling is a great way to try to help your relationship, but at the end of the day, you can't do it alone. You need two people to work on a situation to be able to get to the resolution that you want to get to. I also recommend the 4 Love Languages. For me, that book really helped me to understand myself a little bit better and also understand my partner. Because I think if you're not speaking the same language, it is really easy to talk past each other and start to build resentment towards one another. And that is like so frustrating, because when you feel like you cannot communicate with the person you are with, it really starts to build a wedge between you. I remember in my last relationship, like, one of the things that for me was a huge red flag was the fact that I felt like we couldn't be intimate. I had no desire to be intimate with him. I just felt like I did not want to be with this person. Like, I wanted to be together, but I had no just physical want for that individual, and it was because of resentment. I resented the way that I felt when I was with him and the way that he treated me, and that's not healthy. You know, that relationship made me feel like I was not good enough. That is not healthy. So for me, those were red flags that really helped me, now looking back, identify the fact that that relationship was a very unhealthy relationship for me. Okay, so I want to get into, because this was basically also like, why do people not leave? Okay, so I have a list. I'm gonna kind of go down this list, you guys, because I don't want to miss anything. But one of the reasons why, especially women, don't leave is the significant other that you are with pays for everything. They have the majority of the income, and you feel like if you left, you were gonna be high and dry. That is something that I will never allow myself to be in that situation. I will never allow it. I've always made sure that if I'm in a situation with someone and we live together, I can afford to take care of everything, whether or not they are there. I don't care how much money the mortgage company tells me I can afford. I will never get into something I cannot afford by myself. And it's not because I don't trust that person. It's not because I don't love them. It's just because I know people change their minds, and I just try to be realistic about life and the fact that I don't want anyone to be with me that doesn't want to be with me. So if they feel like they gotta go, I don't want us to feel like, you know, it's gonna be crippling to either one of us if that was the case. So that's how I've always looked at it. Maybe that's not a good way to look at life, or maybe that's not a good way to look at relationships, but I always have made sure that anywhere I live, I could afford to take care of everything, regardless of the fact if they're not there, and vice versa. They should be able to take care of everything if I'm not here either. Another reason people stay is church. Okay, you go to church and you feel like because you are married, you cannot divorce because the Bible says that you should not break your covenant. Now, I'm not here to tell you to go against your religion or anything like that, but I do want to recognize the fact that that is a reason why a lot of people stay. And a lot of people stay in really unhealthy, toxic, very bad relationships that are bad for not only them, but their kids, for their health, for their physical well-being. It's hard for me to believe that God would want that for us, knowing that He loves us like His kids. I would not want my child to be in a situation like that. So that's just a little food for thought, but it's definitely a big reason why people stay. Another thing too is, like, if you're in a situation and they've already broke the covenant, just something to think about. That's all I'm saying. Another reason is, and I know I suffered from this, is the fear of starting over. Like, you literally are scared to start over. You feel like no one's gonna want me. Those were feelings I went through. I was like, nobody's gonna want me. I had little kids at the time. I felt like I had never dated. I was so scared to go out and date. I literally had been with that one person through high school, and I had never really dated. I had never been out there like that. I was scared. And I for sure think that people experience those feelings, not just me. Scared of being alone, that was me, okay? I definitely went through the experience or feelings of being scared that I was going to walk away from that situation and never find the right fit for me, and I was going to be alone, and that fear would haunt me. Like, I would think about myself being in an old home by myself. And I think that we have to just accept the fact that that's not a bad thing. Being alone isn't a bad, there's nothing wrong with being alone. And even if you are with someone, it doesn't mean that you, God forbid, will be able to have your whole life together. I mean, it's just being realistic. You have to live every day to its fullest, and you have to just accept the fact that it's not a horrible thing to be by yourself. You don't think you're gonna find somebody better, okay? Like, there's things about the person you're with that from the outside looking in look really great, but sis, I just have to tell you, there's so many people out here. This pond got a lot of fish in it. Like, we have to remove that from our mindset. You will find someone who is better than the situation you're in, especially if you're not happy, okay? Like, you have to define what better than looks like, but I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of fish in the sea, and if you know what you want, all you have to really do is carry yourself to attract whatever it is you desire, to attract the desires of your heart. Another reason people say is you become comfortable. You're so comfortable in your lifestyle, you're so comfortable in your day-to-day routine that you are so scared to get outside of that and to start over. Like, man. But I definitely think that comfort can kill your growth. And if you are comfortable with someone that is not good for you, like, you're not getting to your most ultimate best life. You always see at the end of my videos to choose to live your best life unapologetically. You have to be unapologetic about acquiring your best life, especially if that situation is unhealthy for you. I went through this where I felt like I did not want to disappoint people. A lot of people looked at my relationship and would always compliment us and say, oh, you guys have been together for so long, or you guys are perfect. And there was this like facade or this image of us that people really gravitated to and would make comments around that. And I started to feel like if I did not have that, you know, image or that relationship, that it was going to be a reflection of me as a failure. And it was really hard. Like, even when we started to go through the divorce and we had broke up, I didn't want people to know. I was so embarrassed. Like, I was so embarrassed. And it's just funny because on social media, I'm sure there are people who are together because of the image. I'm sure there are people who stay in situations because of what it looks like, or even may even end up with somebody because of what it looks like. But you got to follow your heart first. And you always have to pursue what's here as opposed to what is on the exterior and what everybody else is thinking. Because people gonna always have something to say, okay? It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter who you love. People are always going to have something to say. And on that, I'm about to take another sip of this drink. Also want to say, God didn't give you a spirit of fear. You can also accomplish anything you put your mind to. Anything you want, the desires of your heart, you can accomplish it. Put it on your vision board. Make sure you are giving yourself words of affirmation. You are speaking into yourself and telling yourself what you deserve. I had self-esteem issues when I got out of that situation. Self-esteem issues from feeling like I could never ever reach the goal of what that person would say that I wasn't. All the things they would say that I could never be or I never was. I had to really learn how to talk to myself and tell myself that I am a bad bitch. You know, y'all know I don't cuss, but, well, I usually don't. But I had to tell myself, like, girl, you got it. You got it going on. Do you know how many people will want to be with you? Do you know how much you bring to the table, girl? You brought the table. You have to talk to yourself and really tell yourself what you are worth. Don't let somebody else define your worth. Define your worth by what God says you are, or what your Bible says that you are. Define your worth by what is here, okay? Because at the end of the day, you are what you believe that you are. And if you are allowing yourself to accept the agreement of somebody else, that what they want to put in your head based on the insecurities that they have, shame on you. So if you are in a toxic relationship, just like anything else you would plan in your life, you should definitely consider, one, trying to see if you can fix that toxic relationship. And if it's something that you know you cannot fix, and you know that if you could get on the other side, you would find your true happiness, then it's time to start your exit plan. Figure out how you can get to a place where you would feel confident and comfortable with exiting that situation so you can start to live your best life unapologetically. And y'all, this is something I did. When I was in that situation, I remember begging this person not to leave. Do not ever beg somebody to be with you. Do not ever beg someone to be in a relationship with you. I look back on that and I really wish I could have a one-on-one with that Kristyn and tell her how she is so amazing and how worthy she is and how she does not deserve to even feel like she has to beg anybody to be in her life. So I hope this video was hopefully inspirational to you, hopefully gives you a little bit of motivation or just something to think about if you are in a toxic relationship. At the end of the day, you only get one life, so you have to choose to live it unapologetically. You have to choose to live it the best that you can, because if you don't want to look back and have regrets. There is so much in this world, there is so much in this life that we can do, that we can see, that we can enjoy, that we can feel fulfilled by. There is no reason to be living a life that is not of our fullest dreams and expectations. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go and I'm gonna finish my little drinky drink. But thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. You're the real MVP. If you want more content like this or more videos like this, definitely let me know, because I have a lot of life lessons, a lot of life stories that I could definitely share with you guys. I'm almost 40, so I feel like there's so many things that I know now that I wish I would have known 10, 15 years ago. But with that, I will see you guys in my next upload. I really hope you have an amazing day. And remember, choose to live your best life unapologetically. Cheers.